Hello everyone, my name is Denise Carruth. First off, I want to say I apologize if I'm speaking very quietly. It's 1:30 in the morning at my house, which is the only time I am going to find peace and quiet. So I apologize for that, and obviously since I'm the only one awake, I'm the only one to film, so you probably won't see my face, but that's alright. This is my art project for holistic health. I kind of did it a little bit differently from what I've seen so far. I actually took pieces that I've learned from class that I know will be very beneficial to my life. So I decided to find pieces that I liked greatly and just kind of showcase on that. So first off, I'll start on the left hand side with the 7 dimensions of wellness. I actually kind of personalize this to myself. So the first one being obviously with family, knowing the importance of my family and the role that they have in my life. A lot of what I do and how I live my life is how I was raised and how my family basically instilled all the values in me. So a lot of what I do and a lot of the happiness that comes in my life, and even the sad and sometimes angry things come with my family, but knowing that they're a part of me and how well they make happy and well they make my life. So and I apologize if you're going to see a cat in here, which is right there. I apologize. Social, I've always considered a few friends enough. I'm one of those people that, I do have acquaintances, but there's only a few friends that I actually have that I speak to on a daily basis. And one thing I've learned from this class, and especially with the 7 dimensions of wellness, that even though I'm content with my few friends, I know now that there shouldn't be a limit to the amount of people that I consider my friends and the roles that they play in my life. So physical, being physically fit in your life is not necessarily meaning to be skinny and in excellent shape. One, changing their way of thinking, knowing that if they are physically healthy, loving your physical self is awesome no matter how you look. This is something that is very important to me. Being a brand new mom, obviously my body shape isn't the way that it used to be 15 years ago. So, and obviously me being older now, I'm learning more that being skinny and wearing the clothes that are in right now for the skinny people is not really what's important to me anymore. What's important to me is the fact that I'm healthy, that I don't have any health issues at this point in time physically, and that's what I consider being physically healthy to me. And I apologize for the shakiness. I'm trying to keep the cat out of camera view. Spiritual. One can be spiritual without being religious, and I find this very important in my life. The reason why is a lot of my family is old school Catholic, and I do not go to church, attend it regularly, but I still consider myself being spiritual. I believe in God. A lot of what I do is based on the life process that I've learned when it's come to my religion. So mental, always stimulate your mind and challenge yourself. This is something new to me. I'm one of those people that if I'm comfortable, why fix it? Instead of saying, you know what, why don't we take a chance and do it? So I'm actually challenging myself a lot more lately and stimulating my mind a lot more as far as doing different things that I didn't usually do, like coloring, for instance. Something that I love and it's actually relaxing. So vocational, loving your job and loving what you do. At this point right now, I actually work in a funeral home, which I love. I feel like I am there for my families, and I actually feel it's one of those jobs where I come home feeling good, like I actually did something good for someone today. So, but obviously going to school, which I'm going to school for healthcare management. I'm going to be doing finally what I love to do, and that is working with the elderly. Financial, sorry about the cat. Living comfortable and preparing for the future. And me probably being older than most of the people in this class, my husband and I have gone through the whole living paycheck to paycheck and not having enough money, having $30 to buy groceries for 2 weeks and whatnot. And now we're at that point in our life that we're learning how to live comfortably, and we're starting to prepare for our future, as far as retirement and whatnot. So I'm not that old, but one can never start early enough with retirement. So those are the 7 dimensions of wellness according to my own view and how it fits within my own personal life. Toxic thoughts, changing the way I think and speak to others. This is something that was very eye-opening for me when it came to this particular part in the class, was because I am one of those people that I always think of the glass half empty. Something goes wrong in my life and I think of the worst thing that can happen possible. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't really happen. And I've tried to keep what I called the worst words ever out of my mouth and out of my head. And it's been thanks to this class that I've been trying to do that. So no more toxic thoughts. I've been thinking a lot more positively. And, I always try and think of the worst thing that could happen just so I could prepare myself. And I think now, whatever happens is what's meant to happen. And I don't want those toxic thoughts in my mind anymore. So that's one of the things that really stood out to me in this class. One thing with this class that I have actually really loved, and I've started to actually kind of sadly start to make a folder with all the different quotes that I'm finding that have actually been very meaningful. And this is one of them. Change only takes place through action, not through meditation and prayer alone. And I've learned through my life with losses and hard times that a lot of times there is a lot of prayer. And there is, I wouldn't say meditation because I've never done it before, but I've realized that, prayer and thinking good thoughts can only get you so far. You have to take that chance and change what takes place and make those decisions and those actions on your own. So that's one of the quotes that I have learned that have actually been very meaningful to me. One of the other things with the phone, this class, was learning how to put the phone away and enjoying life without the interruptions. I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter, and then a husband who is constantly on his phone and whatnot for work. Same with me, phone, stuff for school. So we've actually started implementing a no phone policy during a certain time during the day, and it's actually been very nice. We've been spending more time outside when the weather hasn't been too bad, and just spending time as a family, and we're actually getting closer that way. Communication is a lot better. So that's something definitely we'll be implementing way more in the future. This is another thing in class that I learned that I loved, and one thing was the act of civility within the public. Right now there is none, and I always thought that it was me, that I was getting too old, and it was just one of those, the younger people don't know how to treat each other and to treat their older generations. And I actually, when I read this in class, I loved it because I realized, you know what, I guess I'm not that old, it's just people are getting rude. So love one another and you will be happy. It's as simple and difficult as that, which is so true. It's so hard to be caring and love for one another, especially strangers, when you don't get that kind of respect back. So, but one thing I am learning is I can't change other people, but I can change how I treat others and how I can communicate better to others, with those who I personally know and with strangers. And once again, sorry about the cat. And that's one thing that I have learned with this class. I've actually started to being a lot more friendlier to strangers. Not so much as, say, like handouts or anything like that, but as far as giving a smile, giving a wave, If we're waiting in a line for something, strike up a conversation, even if it's something little about the weather. Hold doors open for people. Let the elderly sit down on the bus or on the train. And that's something that I am going to change that on my own. I can't change other people, but I could change myself, and that'll make myself a lot more happier as well, knowing that I was happy and I did what I could do to make someone's day. So, and one of the other things that really stood out to me in this class and has actually helped quite a bit is mental imagery and visualization. This quote from Buddha: "The mind is everything. What you think, you become," which is so true. If you're going to be positive in your life, things are going to turn out positive. And when it doesn't turn out positive, you're still going to find a positive way to look at it. So, learning how to cope with everyday life situations, and it's helping with my anxiety. I'm not sure if I shared this with those in class or not, but I do have a lot of anxiety that stems from a home break-in, a home invasion that my husband and I had when we were here at home sleeping, and it was someone that we didn't know that was actually trying to break into our house. So from that, I've been very anxious in my home. I'm constantly jumping at noises, at sounds, just very paranoid. And this is something that has actually helped quite a bit, especially when I lay down to go to bed and I think I start to hear a noise. And I've actually started to use this tool to help me relax and fall asleep and know that everything is okay. So, and one little story I actually want to share as well was my husband actually had a very bad migraine on Monday, and I actually used this technique on him. I didn't think he would let me, but he did, and it actually helped his migraine. So it actually does work. So this is my project, and I know I'm not very artistic, but I had a great time in this class. I learned a lot, especially considering the fact that I was not going to take this class. I wasn't even signed up for this class, but one of the classes that I had taken actually canceled at the last minute. So I had to try and find a class that was open, and this was it. And I am very glad, very happy that I did. So I hope everyone enjoyed this and have a good semester, and we'll see you later.